right, chat is up. It should notify in just a second. Gonna have Jason check our audio, make sure nobody sounds weird.
No, never sound weird.
I always sound weird. That's the trick. Okay.
Last minute tech issues? I don't know them.
Talking about on your end or our end? We can hear you and everything. Alrighty, guys. Here we are. Game 3. Getting a little sad. We're coming to the end. I don't want to think about it. We're not going to talk about that right now.
Nope. We might still get one more game out of this.
I am very confident that if it goes that way, the way it's been going, I think we'll get one more out of us.
We'll just talk really slow.
We'll work it out.
I guess Taylor's not going to have to say anything then.
We just we can,
or she'll go off on a tangent.
We just do the recap a lot longer.
Right.
Do you want to double the length?
Just goes super long on everything. I love it. Okay, guys. So
no matter what happens, these characters will live on within us.
Mm-hmm. They're great.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, guys. So I'm not going to recap because we have some wonderful players doing that for me again tonight. It's going to be so fun to hear that. Last time was definitely, I think, one of my favorite game recaps we've ever had with Taylor and Elena and the in-character. It was great. I'm excited to see the one tonight as well. I'm just going to give a little bit of information so that anyone listening in who has watched with us knows where we're at. Last game, you guys got a bunch of information thanks to a connection from Mama Obi, who did get to join us. Yay, Rowan. They are not with us this evening, unfortunately, but are very excited, and I think they said they were going to try and listen in later. So, that being said, I'm going to turn over to you guys. I'm going to let you give me the recap however you have planned, because I've not been told ahead of time. I've just been told it has been planned. And I'm going to let you tell our wonderful viewers, streamers, and all that, and anyone from the Discord who's watching, what happened in our last game.
Dear Diary. I was so excited to see Mama Obi had returned. This is a woman that does not enter a room but claims it. Her beauty alone would stop the conversation, but she has a fierceness that refuses to be ignored. And yet to those she cares about, there's such a warmth and protective comfort that radiates, especially when you're feeling more scared and alone. I remember the first time I met her, dear Diary.
Dear Diary, Mama Obi is as sharp as she is alluring. She startles me every time she walks and commands a room. She's been only here for a few minutes, and she's already gotten all of the information from that we've gotten without even us having to tell her. She knows what's going on in the forest. It's the big three: Constructo, Destructo, Lawyer, and Lawyer, and BBE Company, and how they are all working together. I really need to remember the names for these. I just can't. They're just so shitty. Dear Diary.
Dear Diary, Rain did an incredible seance, which produced a big scary bat that she spoke with. At least I assume they are talking. I just heard a lot of squeaking. But we did get a lot of good information on the CEO and the androids that were made in such a rush by Big Bean. What an insightful creature. And Rain was magnificent, channeling all of that spooky energy. Dear Diary.
I think you're muted.
Toth, we got you on mute.
Hello?
There you go.
We're good now.
No, the flow.
It's okay.
Dear Diary, apparently it's been 3 weeks and I'm still not used to it. Bats? Cake? Sure, I guess. The lemongrass espresso was nice, but not my favorite, I don't think. We're back out into the forest, this time trekking over to a megacorp outpost, which sounds like a great and not at all terrible idea for me. It does seem like no one minds me tagging along, even if I might get recognized. Elena and Taylor seem protective, and I think Amity and Rain are literally out of this world. Not that anything is crossing Mama Obi, of course. Dear Diary.
Dear Diary, I'm so grateful I get to work for Lesbians. It's a wonderful place that lets a community come together and lets people thrive, and I'm glad to get to see the effects it has on people. On our walk to the B3 office, I got to overhear Taylor and Amity talk. And Taylor was talking about how enjoying the place and how just she was able to be herself. It has been a long time since I've seen anything just so mushy and just so adorable and heart melting. Then Elena chimed in that she felt the same way about how Amity felt seeing that happen to Taylor, and also asked Amity how she felt about lesbians. And I didn't realize that this was a second chance that she's gotten to experience such a great relook at life, a second look at life. Dear Diary.
Sylvia? Sylvie? She's the person we're looking for. I think Mama Obi knows her. She sounds like me a few years ago, or at least where I was headed a few years ago. I don't think she knows anything about my family, but I'll stay back a bit still. It seems like Mama Obi will handle it, and if not, the rest of the group can. Dear Diary.
Dear Diary, we were headed back to interrogate that bitch when my eye caught a glimpse of something, and then everything went blank.
Dear Diary. Oh, Sylvia's a bit scared, but she also has a bit of an attitude. I think I feel sorry for her, but I'm not sure yet. Um, wait. Amity seems to have had an issue. Should I go to her? I don't know how to comfort people. Oh, Sylvie's saying something about Metropolis, one of the galas. I should pay attention. And it seems like the robots were custom built, but I'm not sure if it's dependent on someone else or. Never mind. I think they're all just evil and colluding because of the merger. Of course. Dear Diary.
Dear Diary. I know that I can trust Mama Obi with this. She has always been such a commanding presence, and just walking in to interrogate her old employee, she knows exactly what's going on, and she knows exactly what she needs. The fact that she even looked around for just confirmation was just icing on the cake for us. It looks like she needs me to talk to her for some reason. Amity, too. I might as well get Amity out. She seems to have pretty zoned out. I don't know what's going on there. Dear Diary.
Dear
Dear
Diary.
Diary. Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
So, a Metropolis event, and this time I'm not paying to get in. Well, not that I did before, but you know. Can't believe I'm going back. All this effort, and I'm going back. But this is important, right? It's why I left. So, I'm going back. And I almost want them to recognize me, I think. Show them not even the creme de la creme is safe. Show them who got away, and with what. Show them why they're mistaken. Dear Diary.
Dear Diary. We're having to leave the woods. I haven't done that in a long time. I don't think I can. It's not safe to be out of here. It's not safe to meet people out of here. I don't know if I can. Dear Diary.
Dear Diary. She knew. She looked right in my eyes and she knew. She knew exactly who it was. I think I may finally be ready to confront Stefan. I'm not alone this time, and I have people to protect. I will redeem myself and save the people of the woods this time. Dear Diary.
You guys. Ah. Oh, that was
That was
beautiful.
amazing.
Al came up with a
Wow.
brilliant idea of doing it this way, and it just flowed so well. And like, yeah, guys, that was great.
That was very good.
I'm sweating.
Kudos. Nice job, everyone.
We were like, how do we do this? We want to do it a different
I
way.
know.
And
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
someone help me. I'm not the idea girl.
Oh, I know y'all can't see my camera, but I do. I'm literally crying a little. That was so good. I'm constantly like in awe of my players always, but like that was so good, guys. Like, oh, kudos. Such kudos. If we were starting the game, you'd all get a string on me.
well, I don't know how we do another session after this.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's like,
Actually, we volunteer the GM.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
oh.
Oh, I love it. That was so good. And a great way to segue into what we are currently dealing with. So, as you guys just beautifully explained, there was a lot of information that you got last game. Mama Obi helped you by taking you to the local office for the Realty Construction Company and introduced you to Sylvia, who was a less than nice ex-employee who took her chance in Big Metro. Definitely left them kind of up a creek. Some of you knew her, some of you have heard of her, and you all got to see Mama Obi in action. Got to see her sharp wit, her take no shit attitude, and it shows because you guys got the information that you needed. There is a big meeting happening, but not just a meeting. It's got a bit of a front, a festival, a grand opening of a less than small, definitely giant, bit of an eyesore building that has been built right on the banks of the river that separates Metropolis and the woods. And it says something that Metropolis has the gall to put this giant glass and concrete eyesore right at the very line. It has weight. It has a feeling that those in the woods have never felt before. Sure, the two forces have always pushed against each other, but this feels like a line in the sand. It feels like change and not for the better. And they've been promoting the opening of this building, saying that it's a good thing. It's bringing the companies closer to the woods and to the people that they've been servicing. But is it really? And why make such a spectacle of it when the real show is the board meeting? The first time that the leaders of the Big Three company and their true boss, the head chairman, have come together in over 3 years. Now, luckily, you guys had a lot of luck last time. Sylvia gave you a zip drive, which gave you a bit of a blueprint for how the different tents and things were going to be set up for the festival, the front for the meeting, as well as the original security plan. So you guys are going to at least have a little bit of information. You're not going in blind. And Mama Obi was able to get a couple badges for some of you to help at the information booth for the realty company. Obviously another front, but at least a way to get you guys in. But first, I want to hear some feelings because I'm going to pick on you a little bit here, Sarah, but you definitely felt a lot of things last game. And I kind of want to start there because just as a reminder, in game, a week has gone by. You guys have had a week to prepare to do anything that you want to do prior. And we'll get into that if anyone did have anything specifically they wanted to do. But I want to know kind of where Amity is. I loved her diary entry and I loved hearing that and how she was feeling in the moment. But especially with this preparation, tell me maybe what she'd been doing or what she'd been feeling leading up to this.
I think a lot of what Amity has been dealing with is the fact that things are going to get out in the open now. People are going to know some things, more specific things. Like there's been hints here and there, but now he's going to use everything that he can to take her down and destroy her credibility. So I think she's been working on trying to get close with everyone and be as open and honest as she could be. But there's still like a welling of anxiety of what's to come and how people could react but at the same time, she's chosen to trust these people now. So this is the what she didn't have before when she tried this again. So it's a lot. It's like a storm going on inside of her.
Yeah. And I'm going to pivot a little bit and pick a little bit more on probably, I think, the other person who might be affected by this. Well, I'm going to pick on all three of you here because I think all three of you would. But specifically, Toth and Bree, I'd love to hear some of Bree's feelings because, kind of in the same way that Amity had so many things come to light last time, Bree is being forced back into something that she's been avoiding for the last however long. And what's more is this time, she's being thrust in head first. She definitely chose this. I know that. And I know you vocalized that last time. But what about on her end? Maybe what's been going through her mind, or maybe some of the things she'd be trying to do kind of in the week that's gone by.
I think she's choosing to spend this time getting distracted. I think before she let the whole "oh my god, I just escaped" um like mentality or whatever loom over her. So I think in this case it's a bit, you know what, we're gonna go back, we have to go back, we have to do this. um so let me actually like take a vacation, right? Let me actually enjoy whatever I'm doing here. um she's been paying a lot of attention to the baristas at LesBeans. She's been just like trying to see what they're doing, how they're doing. She's the archetypical like air princess kind of thing. So she's never had to actually like do anything for herself. Not that she wanted that, but it's like what was the case. So now she's like, oh, I really like the vibe here. I really like the people here, and I really like the drinks here. So she's like learning all that. Um, and I think she's also trying to open up a bit more to everyone around. Not a lot, but it's definitely more than before. Like sitting in a table in the corner. Um, she's the kind of person that would like get out a chess set or a board game or whatever and set it out and like wait to see who gets there, who joins. Um, and that's her way of like connecting to the people that she has to trust, that have to trust her whenever they go into the lion's den, so to speak.
Yeah. And then I'm going to pick on my last one here, Elle and Rain, my other people that have kind of a lot to lose here. We talked a little bit about it in your diary entry and the fear of if she can leave, if she can go with her friends, or if that's going to kind of push her right to her limit of a lot of stuff that she holds close to her heart. What do you think maybe would be kind of boiling up in Rain during this week of not just preparation, but also probably dreading a little bit?
There you go. I mean it. It's been a week of dread, but for her, it's almost been like it feels like only a day has passed. It's I have not left in the last 40 years. I have been here. I have been a barista, enjoying life and enjoying the comforts, um, and still being spooked by Mama Odie, even though I've been around for so long. Um, and I know I can leave, but it's the repercussions for doing so are what really scares Rain.
Okay. That's a lot of feelings, guys. Proud of you. Those are hard. I'm going to turn to our other side for a little bit. And I think Josh might still be traveling, but that's okay. Let's start with Taylor. What do you think Taylor would be doing during this sort of week of preparation? And also, kind of going off of what your three travel partners were just talking about, the things that they've been doing and the way that they've been acting. How do you think maybe Taylor would be reacting in this time to them, to this group that, in the same way, emotionally has so accepted Taylor and made her feel loved, and now is kind of at odds of a lot of bad things happening?
Tyler didn't really have a whole lot of skin in this game other than just her love of the woods. But now that her friends are having issues and this is a big emotional thing for them, she's there to support them. First and foremost, she shows up this week. She doesn't have her wig on. She's got shorter brown hair. She spiked it in the front, but it's kind of longer in the back. She's trying to grow it out. It's her real hair. And she's gone to Rain, and she's come to her for some fashion advice. She wants some fighting, some darker goth clothes, maybe some of the spooky witch vibe, because this is a fight, and her normal dress is not exactly battle inspiring, and she sees Rain as someone who can inspire her to improve that.
You have a black skater's dress.
Hell yeah. And she's gonna work with Elena to. She doesn't fight, but she's gonna have Elena show her some moves. She wants to have some of that at the ready as need be. And with Amity, she knows that she's going through some issues, and she just is there to keep her spirits up and maybe be a positive reinforcement on her. Around Bree, she's still a little flighty and a little babble mouthy, but understands that this is serious for her too. So yeah, she's just really going to try and support everyone, and you know, she wants to fight. Her music is switched this week. It's not so much bubblegum pop. Rock and roll fight songs are on the agenda for sure.
I love that. I think everyone kind of has to learn to grow and adapt and know that being yourself around the right people is great, but knowing when to turn the serious on is also really important. That's a big step for Taylor and kind of taking that in.
Uh, am I good to chime in here too then?
Absolutely. Tell me about Elena's feelings. Tell me about the things that she's noticed over the last week, especially given all of those amazing explanations. And I'm going to take a little bit of liberty here, but Elena's perhaps maybe the most able to notice those things, kind of always the silent protector. I definitely see this being something that she would pick up on a lot of those nuances. So tell me what's going on in Elena's head.
So there's a lot going on in Elena's head and in her heart over the course of this week. Um, this is the kind of the closest that she's let herself get to people in quite a long time. Um, she's very much feeling, you know, she's feeling anticipation at the chance to finally get to strike a blow at the heart of Metropolis and these three corporations that are kind of behind all of this evil. She's feeling, you know, ready to do what she can and protect her friends and, you know, help them through this in the ways that she can. and she's feeling fear, even though she's not expressing it. That when the time comes, when, even if this doesn't resort to a physical altercation, she's assuming, I mean, there's always the chance, but she's afraid that when the time comes, she'll that she won't be enough to protect the people that are with her and that she truly does care for. Um, but she is absolutely helping Taylor, a little bit of a training montage going on. But she also has some of her own stuff going on that she's definitely spent a bit more time away from the cafe over this last week than she normally would. But while she is at the cafe, she is very involved in everything that is going on and in preparing for this conflict.
I gotta ask more for devil's advocate than anything. Uh, Joe, what do you think the music would be for that training montage?
Well, there's some obvious classics. Um, I think "We Are the Champions" and some Queen is definitely going to rock. "We Will Rock You." I think it's that entire classic Queen album.
I love that. Well, you guys have had a week. You have had these 7 days to feel and think and prepare. Like I said, in that time period, you've gone over the information that Sylvia gave you. You have a blueprint of the building, the booths, and sort of the tents and things that'll be set up for this sort of opening festival. And you do have a sort of work in progress. You can't be 100% sure that it's stayed this way, but at least the very first security plan that they would have put in place. So you're doing pretty good. You guys are going to get a little bit of a help in certain areas when you try and get past things, make decisions. You also have been given 2 passes that are to help at the information booth for the construction company for Zelene. You don't actually have to, but they're a way to get in. And Sage has also offered that the cafe can fund 2 bought tickets, so to have like a civilian eye. So you guys kind of have those options right now. What would you like to go in sort of as a game plan? The festival is supposed to be kind of an all-day thing. The meeting that you guys know the festival is more of a front for is not supposed to start until the afternoon, and it's supposed to start in the top floor, the sort of penthouse conference room, and it's supposed to be the first time that the 3 heads of the big companies and the head chairman are coming together, physically together, in the last 3 years. So that's everything you guys have. What sort of game plan, like I said, do you guys want to come together and kind of direct towards that?
Sorry. We have the 2 ticket booth operators,
Yes.
and then 2 visitor passes.
Yes. So at least one of you is going to need to stealth or find a different way in or find an excuse to get into the festival. But at least 4 of you sort of have a reason to be there.
I think I could use some skills at my disposal to get myself in.
Do you feel comfortable enough to go through that?
I think it might be best if I go in a bit more subtly.
Are you going to be okay doing it on your own? I know you're concerned about being, seeing people that know you or you know.
It's been a long time. I'm sure people have changed rank. And I still can talk the lingo.
We
And
can.
this time I'm not going in by myself.
That's right.
I think if there's like much doubt, Bree would offer to be the fifth. But if Amity is sure, then she won't push it.
How comfortable are you feeling doing that, Amity? You don't have to. There's five of us. Any one of us could do it. We'll just have to figure it out.
I mean, it is a group decision. It doesn't have to be just my decision. If you feel that there's a better course of action, I'm happy
I
to
don't.
take.
It was more
I
out of
I can do
concern.
this. I
I
think I
I know
can
you
do this.
can. I know you can. You can do anything.
I have faith in Amity's ability to get herself in. And speaking for myself, I know that I will not be able to get in the more stealthy or undercover approach, unfortunately.
I have a good thing with shadows, but I think if you have an easier way in with that,
Hey,
you should
unless
do it.
they've got a band playing, I could grab my guitar and show up and say I'm with the band. I don't know how much that actually works.
It's all about
It
confidence.
could use a way to get in, but then use my skills to get in further, if that might help.
Well, who's going solo? I can do it. Andy can do it. Bree, can you do it?
Yeah, I think it makes sense if I have a ticket, though.
Okay.
It might not, but I think it makes sense.
Well, I don't think I can definitely operate a booth, so I either got a
Yeah,
ticket or I'm
no,
going it
no
myself.
boosts over here. Either ticket or sneaking. Also,
Which is a point of clarification. The badges that Mama Obi obtained from Sylvia, you don't have to go work the booth. These are sort of like, think of it at a convention. You have like vendor passes that kind of get you access. And then, if you were to want to go to the information booth, like if someone thought they could kind of fake it a little bit and gain information, that's an option. But this was Mama Obi's point in getting a couple of you in, given that that was her contact specifically.
I just don't have the corporate goth get up to have it pass like that.
it's true. There's twofold. You have to win the heart of the corporation style, as well as what's underneath.
I'd be willing to use the information booth pass to get in. Uh, Obviously, I don't plan on going to the booth and trying to convince anyone that's what I'm actually there for.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I can dress appropriately for the position.
Also, who's really going to question if you walk in and
Yeah,
like,
I think
Full
Taylor.
suit.
I think I'd like to go to the information booth. I think I'd like to have the pass. I think I can play the intern who's there to observe and learn. So maybe I could stand at the information booth and listen to the answers that they give to people's questions. Maybe get some information that way.
okay. So far we've got Taylor and Elena going to go with those booth passes. Taylor going to play kind of the bubbly intern. gain some information, some intel. Elena probably going to be more physical intel, scouting, both good. So that does still leave the 2 regular entry passes. Bree, I know you said you'd probably take one of those. So that leaves 1 more. So I think it comes down to Amity and Rain, who you guys feel would be better to stealth in or to walk right through the front.
Think the spooky one should sneak in using the shadows because that's much more entertaining for me, at least.
Right, I'll do that. We also could both sneak.
Good what?
We
Said
don't
we both.
have to use the tickets, right?
No. No,
Yeah,
you
we
guys do
all
not
could sneak
have
in.
to if you don't want to. They're just there as tools to be used if you want.
Part of me. Amity could still use that ticket and do kind of what I'm thinking.
You
Like, at
mentioned
least,
like
it's
get
like
in
a
and then sneak
get further.
further, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So we think for now, 2 booth badges, Elena and Taylor, 2 general entry tickets, Bree and Amity, Rain spooky witching. Yes?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I'm going to start over with Rain. So do you want to use a move specifically? Because I do know that you have some stuff with the spookiness.
I do have some stuff. I have Astral Dance,
Okay.
which lets me dance across the boundary and arrive at a destination of my choice.
Okay. And I think
Taylor's going to be totally watching your eyes when you do this to see if you like grow 6 more pairs again.
Okay. And if I remember right, you have to roll and you add your spirit, right?
For this is Grace.
Okay, perfect.
And that is going to be a 10.
Perfect. So that definitely succeeds. So describe to me how Rain does this. How she's going to call that power. And more importantly, especially given all the information you guys have given, what is her goal? What is she trying to reach?
I think she's waited till everybody else goes. And because she's just like doesn't know where people are going, so she's just going to give them some time to do it because she's just going to basically go to the top of the building, um, and bypass all the security that way. She will like go to a corner and basically grab the shadow from the air and do some like a waltz with it, and then waltz into the shadow and waltz out of the shadow on top of the building where like the building has like the elevator chute, because that's the only place that would actually have some kind of shade on top of there. And we'll walk outside and have a bird's eye view of things that are going on.
Amazing. And you do. You gather up your shadows, you waltz in a tight circle, and by the time you finish your spin, you're in the shadow of the elevator shaft. At the very top of this absolute concrete eyesore of a building. In the way that the temporary office was just painful to look at because it was thrown together, this is like almost painful to be around because someone purposefully made it this way. They wanted this giant block of gray, emotionless concrete and glass to be sat right at the edge of this beautiful river, the babbling brooks that lead into the most gorgeous, natural, magical place ever. And it's just that ugly corporate that, like, why would you do that? But you can see down.
I look out and I see just like the nice, wonderful forest. And then the realization hits me of where I'm standing and like the just wrongness I feel in my chest of just being on top of a concrete mound. as I look out for my friends to see what's going on.
Yeah. So I'm going to say it's early morning. That's when this is supposed to start, kind of probably around 10-ish in the morning. The outdoor area would be the first to be set up. And it's set up very much like kind of a corporate team build would be. It's got these gaudy pieces of like lawn furniture with like way too nice cushions that are going to have grass stains all over them within an hour. There are canvas tents that are set up with the different vendors and some food, things like that. It's not that it's put together badly. From an outside perspective, it's actually set up pretty nicely. But once again, it's just sort of the same concept as like you've set up this sort of caravan of tents and these like way too bougie outdoor furniture pieces, and you're right across from like the most glorious natural thing ever. And so everything just kind of pales in comparison to that. I think we'll start with Amity and Bree, especially because they would have probably just opened the gates up. You guys would be sort of ushered through the tents, the furniture that lead up to the building. You guys get pie, no problem with the tickets that you've been provided. And you guys have a little bit of free reign at this point. You can sort of wander a little bit if you want to. You could go into the building. Right now, just that first floor is open to the public, although you've heard some chimings about some of the office spaces being shown later in the day. What is the goal for the two of you? What are things that you think you would gravitate towards?
I'm
I'm.
not. No,
No, you're
go
good.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was like, maybe if I breathe long enough. uh, I'm trying to look for plants.
Mhm.
People who are put there on purpose for some kind of reason that just sticks out to me because of what I've been in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm going to say is you're going to roll, and this isn't going to be a move specifically, but I'm going to say you get a choice of what you think you should add. Maybe what your highest would be, because you do get a bit of an advantage here. You've been that person, you kind of know what you're looking for. So you're going to roll and you just let me know which stat you'd like to add to it. And I'm actually going to give you a +1 to whatever you roll because, again, you've been in this situation. You know kind of what you're looking for.
Okay. And it's just 1d6, right? I've been playing different mechanics like
2d6.
up until this point. 2d6. Okay. I literally forgot all of my dice, but this one random d6 is chilling here, so I'm gonna grab it.
It was meant to be.
Okay, so that is 8, and I'm using wit.
Okay.
So then with the +1, it's 9.
Perfect. Okay. So you kind of scan. There's a couple people walking around with like morning mimosas and some of those little like canapes and stuff that you have seen more like in passing when you've gone places with Sage or Mama Obi, and they've been kind of trying to making their connections. They just kind of brought you with them. And so you kind of weave in and out of these people. You do manage to pick out two people that are very obviously security. They're stationed right at the door of the building, but that seems to be the only place that they have very obvious security at the moment. And you also managed to pick up on at least one person that's in civilian clothes that just doesn't belong there. You know, because again, you've been in that place. You've been the person that's sort of set out to get the information someone else wants. And a normal person probably wouldn't recognize, but you definitely recognize like their movements are just a little too careful. Their smile doesn't quite reach all the way up before they're moving on to somebody else. And it's a tall person with very short blonde hair, They are wearing very nice business casual, somewhat of a pantsuit, high waisted with like one of those button ups. It's like slightly unbuttoned at the collar to give sort of like a effect of casual. And their eyes are this sort of icy blue that is watching everything that's happening right now.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of like keep her in my sight for a while
Okay.
and try to listen in on her conversations and conversations around her. See if I can pick up a name.
Sure. As you kind of follow behind her, you do pick up one name that keeps getting used, which is Aro Azul. You know that that is the current head of Zelene Construction and has been for the last 3 years. And this person keeps using the name around people to see who recognizes it. They keep sort of like leading conversations to Zelene Construction and to this person. You could probably confidently say this is probably the Zelene plant to try and get an idea of maybe the reception of it here or something to that extent. Okay. Bree, what do you think that she'd be doing right now?
I think knowing what Amity wants to do, I think Bree is in a. I want to draw attention to myself, but not enough that it's like, oh my god, Bree is back or whatever. It's more like double take. Do I know her? Like, what's going on here? Like, wasn't she supposed to be gone, lost, whatever? Um, just like try to create some drama without like getting the full force of like Metropolis on her. So she is I'm gonna say she's with a very practical but very elegant um dress, and it technically conforms to every single Metropolis dress code, like modesty kind of code, but not really. It's very daring. It's very form fitting in its own way. It doesn't actually like um show a lot of skin because that's against Metropolis code, but it's very like you can't wear that in public. um and yeah, basically she just wants everyone to like double take to like not be looking at Emmett.
Sure.
And I
So
think oh, go ahead. Go.
it's okay. I was just going to say, I think that the entice move would be a good one here for you. So that would be when you are trying to appeal to someone or someone's physical or emotional. So you would roll and then add heart. And so we're just going to use that sort of as like how much Bree could entice the crowd maybe that she's currently with.
Okay.
This is going to work a little bit differently because obviously you're not going against a specific character. In this case, we're just looking for at least a 7 so that you can kind of make the crowd desire to be around you a little bit more and give that enticement.
So that's 5 and 4.
Okay.
Plus 0. So that's a 9.
That does it. So I'm going to
Nice.
say that you successfully managed to gather a small crowd. Not enough to sort of like grab everybody's attention like you were saying, but definitely enough that Amity's not going to have any issues sort of tailing and doing what she wants to do.
Solid.
I do want to say, as we were entering, this is a bit counter, but it's also a bit like if all the attention is on me, it doesn't like matter whatever else is going around.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes sense that Brie offers like her arm to Amity, like a plus one kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, once we're like far enough in, it can be like Amity can go off and scout or whatever she wants to do.
For sure.
Brie is like panicking on the inside, but she trusts that there's a plan that will work. That will work.
Yeah. Which
I
brings
squeeze your hand before I break away from you.
Which, and that actually brings a good point. I'd love to hear, before we jump over to our other two that are going to be going in through a different entrance, I'd love to hear what Amity may be dressed to prepare for, because I know we got a little bit of a description of this sort of slightly scandalous outfit, trying to draw some attention, especially coming in sort of as a civilian. Do you feel like Amity would do something similar, or maybe dress a little bit different? I want to get the entire image here of what's happening.
Um, to kind of throw things a little bit, I think Amity, I mean, obviously, like, she's a little bit more herself at LesBeans. But before that, she was forced to dress a certain way and act a certain way. So she's going to try to go in a more masculine, androgynous fashion. Nice kind of button up shirt, kind of loose fitting, well kept, and kind of what's. I am a useless lesbian when it comes to this kind of thing and describing clothing, so I do apologize.
Clothing's hard, y'all. It's okay. There's like so many
Hard.
words that mean the same thing or different things. You're good.
But very like what simple, very well put together,
Mhm.
form fitting, but the blouse is kind of like the shirt is kind of like um it's piratey. It's giving pirate. It's getting fancy pirate.
I love it. I understand. You're going for sort of that like androgynous corporate kind of thing. Like
Yes.
I totally get what you're going for. I love it. Okay. Hopping over to Elena and Taylor. So while Amity and Bree were led up sort of that main pathway, like you come across sort of the main bridge between the woods and Metro, and you walk up this main drag to the new building. You guys kind of come with them that same main, but then you pair off. There's a side path. There's signs kind of labeled so you guys know where to go if you're like booth runners or vendors, things to that extent. So you guys sort of veer off, go sort of around the building, and are led to the back end of all of these tents and sitting areas. You guys get waved through no problem. I feel like the security gives like half a glance at Elena and then decides better of it. They do the kind of like look up, look down, look back up, go right along, ma'am. So, what is our goal? What do we want to do?
So I will say, Elena is not wearing her armor. She is in a pure white pantsuit with a like pink tie, kind of pink pocket, whatever that's called. And she has a cane. Like not like a more of a fancy one, not like that she needs it. And she has like tall white high heels that she's wearing, and her hair is kind of put together. Like she's dressing to impress for this, and this is almost certainly the first time any of you have seen her in her armor, or not in her armor. So.
Sorry. I had to get it in, right?
Yep.
I love that. That's so good. Which pivots us over to Taylor. What do you think Taylor would have dressed as? And I'd love to also hear maybe how Taylor feels about what Elena looks like. Because, as noted, this is going to be the first time you've ever seen her out of her armor. And I'm sure looking like just not a snack, but the whole damn charcuterie at this point. Like,
Taylor, well, let's start with Taylor's carrying a clipboard and pen, which she can put in front of her mouth so that in her face to avoid blushing when she looks at Elena, because that's pretty hot. I won't lie. But Taylor is dressed smartly. She's got a knee length khaki skirt that's got like the runches on the side. She's got a white cold shoulder blouse so that shoulders are showing, but it's not strapless or anything. A nice white necklace. Hair's down straight but tied in the back with a white ribbon, and just some plain low heels to go with it. And yeah, she's dwarfed by Elena, and it almost looks like Taylor is in orbit around Elena as they're walking.
I love it. Okay. So that brings back to the original question for you guys. What are your goals? Now, again, you guys have come in a different side. So where Bree and Amity came very from the front facing the building, you guys have kind of been skirted around the path that goes around the building and then to where the actual tents and everything are. So almost kind of coming the opposite way moving forward.
Um, Elena is definitely, once they're through the various checkpoints that they need to get through with their badges and whatever, and they're not like, once they're past the point that like she doesn't need to act like she's heading towards the information booth. She's very much like clocking security. That is what her focus is. Like who, like more the visual, not necessarily looking for people who are undercover, kind of like it sounded like Amity kind of was doing, but like Elena is focusing on like who is visibly carrying weapons, if anyone is, and like what's the best exit to get out of if things get scary, planning for the worst, hoping for the best.
Absolutely. Which as a freebie, especially because this was something that Amity also saw just right off the bat. Right at the moment, there's only the 2 security people at the front of the building itself. There was a couple more, obviously, when you guys came in. Those would have been more like sort of civilian security, basically just making sure the badges are good, and that nobody like got past there that didn't need to be on that side of things. The 2 at the front of the building would have sort of like baton wands on their side, but nothing like lethal. If you want to do a little bit more depth search, we could do a roll, and I would say that this is also Elena's wheelhouse. So I'm going to be nice and let you pick what you add to this, because this is something that she's in her element as well. She's like high protect right now. She's like high alert.
Yeah. Would you, I know this may not be exactly the case, but would you consider this a like preemptive defy disaster kind of situation?
I could see
Or
that. No, I could definitely see that, because that's definitely Elena's goal here, and you can tell. So, yeah, I'd allow that. I think that'd be good.
okay. In that case, then yes. Elena is going to attempt to defy disaster, um, using daring, because she is skilled with weaponry. So kind of keeping an eye out for Who else is skilled with
No,
weaponry?
no, she gets
in that kind
daring
of
because of how
situation?
she's dressed.
That also works.
We're gonna get the mommy meme at least one more tonight. I can just feel it.
I'm looking forward to it. All right. So, uh, that is a 9. Um, which for Defy Disaster, uh, I you offer me a hard choice or a success with sacrifice,
I'm actually going to
or
be a
however.
benevolent force of nature here because I do believe you also deserve a bit of a +1 here. That was just very well described. And again, similarly to with Amity, you are very in your wheelhouse in this moment. You guys are fitting your niches and like really kind of clicking to the pieces of the group that you're fitting into currently. So that's actually going to make it a 10, which
Perfect.
means that you may learn new information or discover an opportunity, but we have to do it with style.
Okay.
So all I ask in return is that you spin me a bit of a tale. How do you feel, especially kind of in the moment, that Elena would want to garner this information?
So I would say that now that they've gotten past the checkpoints, she's kind of put the badge that they were given and kind of tucked it inside of her coat jacket so it's not visible now. So she's going to walk up to one of these people that she sees who's clearly kind of the security in the area, and she's just going to like strut up to them and kind of like take her cane and like push it, not like forcefully, but like tap it against this person's chest and just be like, "Are you in charge of security here? And if not, who do I talk to?"
Okay. So I'm going to say the guard that you walk up to, little bit shorter than you, but still very tall. You would probably guess that this person was originally from the woods because they're in the very stereotypical security outfits, those sort of like dark underclothes, some sort of vest. They have the baton on their side. And they have those like sort of almost like jail caps that they like pull down to keep their eyesight, and sort of like put those blinders on, so to speak, when you're doing security. And you do note that their ears have a bit of that like peak, like beasts that you've seen in the woods before, like you've seen with Bree and her ears and her antlers and other people that come into the cafe. So you would definitely probably right away clock that this is probably like a forest native. And that right away is going to kind of like cause a bit of like, I don't want to say camaraderie because that's not the right word, but at least connection enough
Yeah.
that they sort of like make eye contact and maybe not understand where you came from, but like have that sort of like, oh, and then they're gonna like take in your full appearance, and then it's gonna be a little bit of that like with style that we just had. Oh, no, I'm not. I mean, the pardon me, ma'am. The head of security is actually upstairs right now, and they'll be down a little bit later. We were dispatched from the Big Bean Energy security detail.
Good to know. I'll be keeping an eye on you. And I'll definitely be having a conversation with the person in charge if I feel like you're lacking. So keep an eye out.
It's taking everything in me not
And
to have
walk
this
away.
NPC say yes, mommy, because that just feels so right now. But win some, lose some. Perfect. You do know that first and foremost, Big Bean Energy was obviously the company that at least had a hand in those androids that you guys found. They are known for sort of putting out security details. It's more of like a like a shell company or something that they have because they have their hands in just about everything. Like obviously their front is the coffee and the chain restaurants and like all the money that comes from that, but they've got their fingers in a lot of different things. So you also know that the head of Big Bean, one Chad Mulligan, because that seems right, that feels right. He has put a little bit more emphasis the last like 2 years or so on Big Bean expanding into those sort of security details.
Okay. Do I happen to know, and I'm kind of assuming I don't, but do I happen to know what Chad Mulligan looks like?
You don't know, mostly because that would be outside of like your normal purview.
No.
I could tell you that Bree would probably know what he looks like because she's from Metropolis. But you would not. You would just know of him.
Okay. I kind of assumed that would be the case, but had to ask.
Okay. We're going to jump back to the top of the building. We're going to jump back up to Rain, who I assume at this point has just kind of been getting a bit of a feel for everything. Probably clocked her friends coming in. Probably had to fan herself a little bit when she saw Elena and take a moment.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Good slaying.
Like, um, what what do you think Rain's goal would be here? Specifically, especially once she's seen sort of her friends get in and go about their doing. Is she wanting to stay sort of on like bird's eye detail? Are you wanting to kind of get inside and see if you could do something that way? What's the plan?
She didn't have a plan.
I love it. Who
She
needs a
was
plan?
like, I don't know where to go. I can see that thing. I can just go on top of that. And now is up here and is like, well, now I'm bored. And I am still an anarchist at heart. How do I burn this building? It's concrete. I cannot burn this building. I look for the most closest thing that I can break to do any kind of damage, and it is an AC unit. And I just slowly have it start leaking out coolant so it'll get hot in the afternoon.
Love it.
And then I still see stuff going on downstairs, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to go down the steps and see what happens.
Okay.
And I'm going to descend into the building that we have the map of.
Perfect. And I will give you just a bit of a choice because with this building, there are two ways you can go. You could absolutely try and get into like the top security door. That's going to take a bit of maneuvering because it probably would be locked from the inside. So you'd have to either do like a forceful move or try and pick the lock of some sort, maybe use a spell. But this building does have a set of steps going down the side of it. It has like a very almost like a fire escape, but they're just full concrete stairs. Like this top portion was sort of built to also at some point be like a top level for like the employees to come for breaks, or they could potentially have like meetings up here, or they could rent out the space if they wanted to. So you can just go down the building to where everybody else is if you'd like to.
I think I'm going to first check and see if I can get the door open and offer that as an option to my friends.
Absolutely. So let's take a peek. Do, 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 do. So that's probably, well, there's two ways you could probably go about this. You could definitely do a fight move if you just want to break the door. If you just wanted to kind of like brute force it.
Gonna gracefully open the door.
Yeah. Well, yes, of course, because it's Rain.
Yeah, I'm not a fighter.
No, that's fine.
I'm a lover.
So yes, so then you would do that. And rather than your opponent, obviously, because this is directed at an inanimate object, that's going to like take the place of your opponent, so to speak.
All right. I will bring out Sprinter to assist me in holding different pieces of lock-picking equipment made out of bone.
Okay.
All right, and that is going to be a 10 total.
Perfect.
With a 6 + 3 + 1.
Perfect. That'll do it. and we're playing a little hot and fast with some of these because obviously we're not going against a true opponent. We're going against a door. But I'm going to say you definitely hit the number you needed to accomplish what you wanted. So you and Sprinter sort of play around with the lock for a few minutes. You finally hear that telltale click and the door turns all the way over. And you've managed to get it open. I'll give you guys a bit of a freebie because, once again, I am a benevolent god. And I'll say that before you went into this, Mama Obi and Sage probably would have prepped you with some sort of ear comms. They probably look like earrings or something to the extent, depending on what you're trying to do. So you do have a way to communicate to one another. It's obviously just got to be done well, because if someone sees you going like, okay, guys, I got the door open, it's going to be a little weird.
Well, thankfully I'm on the ceiling, so I can just easily, hey, everybody, I'm on the ceiling, or the roof. And there are stairs on the side, if you do want to come upstairs. And there's a door, and I did open the door. If you... Hello? Oh, you are all at a party, and you can't do this. Can you bring me food if you come? I'm a little hungry.
Bring me snacks. Okay. Before we jump into anything else, I'm going to cause just a really quick pause. So we're right at about 8:30. Been going for right at about an hour and a half. I will let you guys know that you absolutely are at a part where if you guys wanted to extend this by one more game and make that like the big interaction, we can do that. But this is the point where I just want to get a vibe off of everybody. Are we wanting to kind of finish up the last 30 minutes and plan on one more game? Or do you guys want to push through for like another hour-ish and finish this evening?
I think
I'm not
vote
sure.
I
one more.
personally can do 30 minutes and then another game.
Okay. That's 2 for one more game. I kind of feel like I know how this is going to go, but I got to ask anyway.
I don't think I can play until the 13th of next month. That's my
Okay.
reservation.
Yeah, scheduling a final game might be a challenge.
So I'll let you guys know if we schedule one more. Let me pull up my... So that would potentially put us at Monday, October 6th. That would be our final game.
I am not available that night.
Okay.
Same.
I could do the following week as well, which would be the 13th. I know that's right at what you were talking about, Elle.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. I can do the 13th.
Okay.
I can't do the 6th.
I can do this 13th.
Okay. That sound okay for everybody else?
It's good
Yeah.
for me.
Thumbs up all around? Okay. I guess you guys get one more out of me. I guess. Perfect. No, that works out perfect. And honestly, that'll probably be better because that's right after I take my trip. So I know I'm going to be a little dead that week. Okay. So perfect. We will plan on Monday the 13th being our final, and we'll go for about 30 more minutes. So that being said, jumping right back in, I have kind of in my head, I have a stop point for us. So you guys have all been made aware that Rain is on the roof of the building, has managed to get the door open. So what would everybody like to do?
Elena is going to kind of just reach up and just like, well, she's going to pull out like a little pocket mirror and kind of just hold it up to make it seem like she's just checking her makeup, and just kind of reach up and adjust her hair and activate her earpiece and just say, copy that. And then, finish adjusting and then put the mirror away.
Very smooth. Okay.
You're on mute, Sarah.
Am I now?
No, you're good now.
Good.
Okay, great. Well, let me try that again. Amity's gonna very quietly and subtly say, I'm so sorry. Could you repeat all of that? I couldn't hear a word you said, and Mommy just walked in.
I
Wait,
love
Mom
the
just walked in?
idea that Amity doesn't realize that's Elena. That is just like full blown. Like, I'm sorry, I got distracted.
I said bring snacks, and I got the door open upstairs on the roof.
Can I bring that snack?
Who are you talking about?
I
That's more
got
than
the
a little snack.
snacks.
Well, Taylor's going to look around and see if any of the tents are serving snacks. I'm sure there's coffee to be found for sure. And if she doesn't need to go to the info booth and Elena's kind of got her way in, she's going to gather some snacks and some drinks and follow around like she's Elena's intern.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay.
Your plan was so much better than mine. You're so good at this. Coffee?
that- Yes, thank you. Reach over, take a sip,
Sorry, it's
resist
Big
spitting
Bean.
it out. Huh?
Yeah, I know. Just pretend.
It just
Tastes
kinda-
like corporation.
There's no love in it. Not how Sage and Rain make it.
Sage would be
just
disappointed.
Yeah. Just kind of hold it make it look like I'm drinking it, but I'm not.
Okay.
You know, Taylor's got like 4 little bags. It's got like some fruit and some cookies in them, and we need 5. We need 5 bags. Okay. All right. We can only carry 2
Can I
coffees
ask
though.
about this door?
Sure.
Like, kind of where it's leading? Like, does it kind of branch off into like the area that's going to be used later, or?
Oh yeah, let me just go inside real quick, and I'll tell you.
Right.
Wait.
The comms cut out.
I will give you
Like, what area of the room?
Yeah.
Do we notice that the door has been unlocked?
Sure. So the door is so up at the top again. This the top of the building has been set up. So half of it is obviously industrial because it has to be. You've got those AC units. You've got the sort of like big portions that have to go out of the ceiling on every big building. And then the other half has been set up very much like it's sort of like a rooftop commons area. And the door that Rain specifically got open would have been the one that leads down to like one of the main stairwells, because obviously this has to come up from the office spaces. So you do have a bit of an option. You know from your intel from Sylvia that there is a sort of penthouse conference room. It's going to be on the opposite side of the door. So like on the opposite side of the building, but you have a way to get down and make your way towards it if that's what you guys want to do, especially because you know the people that you're kind of having to deal with are going to be in there. And I'm going to say right about this time, they're supposed to start arriving because once again, they're supposed to get here sort of around midday and they're supposed to be holding their own chairman conference of sorts while this is happening as a front so that the eyes are taken off of that portion of the building. And there are 2 ways to kind of get up there. Obviously, as I've already explained, you guys can absolutely just go up the concrete stairs that are sort of on the back of the building. You can also go in the first floor of the building and try and sneak up one of the stairwells if you'd like. Whatever's going to be easiest, especially for where your characters are currently.
And so the door that got unlocked is upstairs, or okay. So we have to go up
It's on
some
the roof.
stairs
Yeah, you have
and
to
get
go
to
on the
this door that's
exterior
unlocked.
stairs,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you end up going inside and going through the stairwell that way, you're going to end up having to kind of like maneuver to where the now like open door is that Rain is at and then navigate to where you're trying to get to. Whereas if you guys want to go more for a full frontal, if you just want to go up those concrete steps and then meet Rain and then go down together, you can.
You can just do full frontal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, That's
We just
Elena.
walk behind the intimidating mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would question me?
Never.
Yeah, I think that's sort of what Elena and Bree want, right? To just go.
Yeah.
I mean, Elena wants to burn the building down, but we've associated already that it's concrete, and that's not possible at the moment. So,
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, we need to start somewhere, right?
yeah. We'll need something a little stronger than fire. But,
okay.
you know,
Does anyone have a nuke?
uh, if anyone does, they do. So, only one way to find it, I guess. So,
I only find that funny because that's one of my dog's names. His name is Nuke, and I was like, I have a nuke.
Wow.
oh no, our benevolent force of nature has a nuke at her disposal.
Okay. So, are we gonna try and make our way kind of around the building, up the back stairs to meet up with our party member?
I think
Oh,
so.
yeah. Yeah.
Bree, I'm gonna give you sort of an opportunity at what I'm lovingly calling my version of a notice roll here, because I know that in TSL it's a little different. You guys have moves and such, but you're gonna roll your 2d6, and then I think you're gonna want to add wit, but let me just double check real quick because I need to look at my tabs
Cleverness and
make sure.
knowledge.
One more time.
Cleverness and knowledge is what.
Yes. So yeah. So go ahead and give me a roll, add your wit, and let me know what you get.
I think I've made this joke before, but I think that's subtract my wits.
Oh no. You can
Oh, not
always
well.
argue with me that you feel that Bree should use something else. I love when you guys give me reasons.
Right. I think here she's not really paying attention.
hmm
She's sort of like trying to. I have one thing I want to do.
Yeah.
I have one place I want to go,
hmm
and I don't want to make eye contact with anyone. I don't want to like see anything.
Okay.
So I rolled a total of 6.
Okay.
That's 7 minus 1.
Got it. Okay. So luckily, nothing too bad happens, but you do miss an opportunity to kind of get a bit of an insight on something that might help them later. But that's okay. So you guys make your way around the building. You all kind of meet up. Amity very quickly realizes that the snack she was talking about is actually her party member. Um, you guys head up the stairs. It's going to take you a little bit because obviously this is something like a 6 or 7 story building. You're going to have to kind of make your way up those steps. It's leg day, guys. Sorry.
Every day's like
The
that.
worst.
Every day.
That's my motto.
So you guys finally get to the top. You see Elle sitting. I'm assuming at this point that you've gotten kind of bored again, and Sprinter's kind of like whipping around and like chasing their tail, and like you're kind of just like, where are my snacks?
I'm like sitting
I-
in the shade.
I
like it's
brought the
hot out.
cookies.
Thank you so much. Oh my god. Thank you so much.
You can have my
Just-
coffee. It's not good, but it's something.
I'm not gonna eat garbage. Or at least drink it. I will eat some cheese and fruit.
Yeah. Don't waste the effort on this trash liquid.
I'm just imagining at one point you like coming up the stairs, you sort of just like toss the cup over the side. You're like, no, this is not worth it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. If we were in
Everyone's
the
fighting
forest, I'd wait for a trash bin, but
Everyone's fighting to make sure that Elena goes up first.
Yep. After you, please. I insist. Don't worry. I got the back. All of it.
Wow.
Who are you again?
oh, I
What?
think it's
Sorry.
Yep.
Elena.
No.
It's totally her.
Yeah.
Walked in with her.
Elena's just gonna take her walking stick, and then it's going to immediately transform into her sword, and then transform back into the walking stick.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't help.
Also, what?
It's me.
I love this. This whole thing is my favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys head over to the door that Rain has opened for you. Now, like I explained, you guys are kind of on the opposite side of the building that you need to be. The again, this sort of like penthouse conference room, which is really just a very luxurious, very private conference room that probably would be like rented out for specific things or only really used when like the big head honchos were here, is going to be on the opposite side of the building of where you guys are. So you're going to need to go in down the stairwell and kind of find a way over to that area. It's going to take a little bit of maneuvering. Luckily, you guys did get a building blueprint, so it's not going to take you too terribly long, but it is going to take you guys just a little bit to get over there.
Is anyone noticing it's getting hotter for some reason? Like, just slowly hotter?
It's just Elena.
So I thought that
No.
at the beginning. I really did, but no, it's a temperature difference.
No, sorry, that's me.
Ah,
I
shit.
mean,
No.
you
No,
know,
sorry, not no
yeah.
no. I got bored. I broke the AC.
I really.
Oh,
You need to get you a fidget or something.
yeah.
That's why I make coffee all the time. 'Cause I just keep constantly getting to do things.
There.
Also, I wanted to break the place, so I got 2 things to do.
I don't blame you for that.
So as you guys are walking, and what you end up walking through are like bigger offices. This is like sort of the top floor. There's going to be some steps leading up to, again, the sort of like penthouse conference room. These are all what would be like executive offices. There's only like maybe 6 or 7 on this floor. They're very spread out. The wide windows looking across to the forest. But as we kind of come towards the end of this session, I want once again to kind of know what's going through everyone's head, especially because you guys know now for real you're leading up to a true altercation, a true interaction with these people, and you're going to be given a choice and a chance to potentially take out the people that have really wronged your portion of the woods. And I think this is kind of the moment for a lot of you that it's going to become very real. So I want to know, again, as we kind of come towards the end, because there's still like 1 or 2 things that are going to happen, but what is going through your character's mind? What are you feeling?
I'll go. Taylor's excited and nervous, almost a little giddy at the idea of doing this because it's nothing she's ever done before. And, it's for something that she loves and for people that she loves that we're doing this. And, we want to break some shit.
Nervous. I have no idea what's going to happen, or even if what we do is going to stop the wheels that are in motion. Uh, I want the ability for 5 people to push back to be able to do something, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Um, Elena is, for one, feeling a little exposed. Like obviously she's covered, but the reassuring weight of her armor that she's grown so accustomed to, the physical and emotional walls that she's put up to keep herself safe, are not here right now. And, but pushing through that, the opportunity to do something truly impactful, strike at the center of this corruption, and maybe chop off the head in one way or another, is kind of driving her. And this is something that she's devoted her life to, and while she very much wants it to succeed and wants it to make an impactful difference, she's scared of what life is going to look like if it works. If they do, if this is something that truly stops Metropolis's encroaching into the forest, she doesn't know what she's going to do with herself, because this has been the one thing that's been driving her for longer than most of the people here have been alive.
I think Amity's realized that if this continues, she isn't going to be able to exist there. So she's most likely going to lose everything. So at this point, she's ready to give everything to stop it and burn it all down.
And I think we're at a point where I'd say I wouldn't say Bree has like progressed much per se, but she notices she's starting to like get a read on the group, notice what's going on. And she tries to reassure or comfort in a way everyone, offer a hand, offer a smile, um, give a pat on the back, squeeze an arm, that kind of stuff. She
Up in
herself is
arms.
panicking, but sorry, but it's she trusts the group and wants them to trust her back.
Okay. So you guys make your way across what isn't a very large expanse, but feels too big and too small all at once. Each step that you guys take is bringing you closer to whatever inevitable end that this is going to be today. In a lot of ways, it feels like the expanse keeps going. And then each of you thinks of those different feelings that you have. And then it seems like all too soon you've reached the bottom of those stairs. You see the door at the top cracked open, light coming down from it. And you guys look at each other one more time, grab hands one more time, squeeze shoulders, maybe give hugs, whatever in that last kind of second is going to bring comfort. And then you guys head up. You take the stairs together and you enter into the conference room. And it's empty, which wasn't what you were expecting. You guys take that final step inside, push in, and that heat that Amity mentioned earlier has been so cloying at this point because your friend Rain took out a very vital piece of this building. You know, wanted to make them feel a little bit of the uncomfortable that you guys have felt. But as the last person steps into the conference room and you step forward and you see that it's empty and you have that sort of momentary confusion, the door snaps shut and everything goes cold, icy cold, like fingers at the back of your neck, like someone walking over your grave. And Amity, you hear a voice you have not heard in a very long time, one that you had very hoped you might never hear again. Ah, the prodigal daughter returns. And that's where we're going to call it for the evening, guys.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very good.
How dare you?
I just want everyone to know that I had like 2 bullet points for how I thought we were going to end if we went 2 games. Everything else I just said was improv, and I've never been more proud of myself in my life.
That was
Good job. That was so perfect.
Oh,
amazing. Shit.
I've got like goosebumps. It's like,
Yeah. It was sick.
oh, okay.
You gotta wait how many weeks now?
Ugh.
I know.
I hate
know.
cliffhangers.
I know.
Okay.
3 weeks.
So next game, I'm gonna do a recap for you guys, but it's gonna be a little bit of a treat. It's gonna be a little bit of almost a prologue, a memory leading up to the point that you guys are at. I will probably send out some information between now and then, or I might ask some questions. But that's what we'll do next time that we start. As we already talked about, that's going to be October 13th, I think we said, that Monday. Yes, that sounds right. Yep, October 13th. Same time, we'll stick to 7 o'clock. That seems to work for everybody so far. And it's going to be the final confrontation. I highly recommend we brush up on some of the moves in the books. Just have a couple ready to kind of, especially because this is going to be sort of the true like initiative we're going to have. And definitely think about ways, those strings, those XPs, those things that you guys have gathered up to this point. I know mechanically there's different ways that they work in this, but I want you guys to think about how they would bolster you and your character to go into this fight. And I want you guys to kind of have that ready when we start next time. How all of these connections, all of these things that you've done up to this point, how that's going to sort of harden the resolve of your character, if that makes sense.
I think Elena's outfit gets a string from Amity.
Oh, I was about to say, who's giving strings to the snack? Because
All right, well, I'll take that.
I think you get one from everybody. At least you get one.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
okay.
That clipboard that's covering Taylor's face a lot.
First and foremost, thank you anyone who did watch with us this evening. Go ahead and guys say bye stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye,
stream.
stream.